Kung Keru Su Kwami Bang Zing Kalong Phi Mung Ke Hung Siu Nakamud Bang Dim. Saying Krasab Thi Kun Midiing Siang Chad Sen. Take Lab Sawam Lab Thi Nakla. Kunni. Rune Gra Hang Naying Ke Hun Kafa Kung Kejlik Thi Quimakring Lai Wam Fan Bid Baif. Thukan Githi Kun Hen. Zak Midapen Fangia. Thuk Saying He Kandian. Zak Sawam Lab Thi Kun Mixiakru. Kunklatam Laraki Piniter Smud Nan Harushmi. Rux Kathexi Klab Kathik Vomit Kayu Krung Sit Chicken. Rune Grani. Mahimun Thi Kunkadin. Terium Tawifrit. Quamat Galangers Hunksiu. The streets were silent under the heavy cloak of midnight. Streetlights flickered, casting long, trembling shadows across the narrow alleys. A soft wind whispered through the broken windows of abandoned houses. Lara walked cautiously, her footsteps echoing softly against the cobblestone. Her heart thumped in rhythm with the distant howls of unseen creatures. Every corner seemed alive with secrets she could not see. The smell of damp earth mixed with a faint metallic scent. She paused near an old gate, its rusted hinges groaning as if warning her away. A sudden noise made her freeze. A shadow darted across the courtyard, quick and silent. Lara's breath caught. Her instincts screamed danger, though her eyes saw nothing clearly. She moved forward slowly, each step deliberate, yet her body trembled. The air grew colder, pressing against her skin like invisible hands. A faint whisper reached her ears. It was soft, almost friendly, yet it carried an undertone of menace. Lara spun around, eyes wide, searching for its source. Nothing but the darkness greeted her. Then she felt it, a sudden brush of air against her neck, colder than the night itself. Her body stiffened, and she could hear her own heartbeat loud in her ears. A distant door slammed violently. She jumped back, tripping over uneven stones. The sound of footsteps followed hers, though no one was visible. Panic rose, but curiosity rooted her feet to the ground. From the shadows emerged a figure, shrouded, faceless, yet unmistakably watching her. Her voice failed. The figure raised a hand slowly. A chilling wind swept through, carrying a sound like hundreds of whispers. Suddenly, the figure vanished. Lara blinked, and for a moment, the night felt impossibly still again. Her legs moved on their own, carrying her deeper into the empty streets. The faint glow of a lantern appeared in the distance. She approached, hoping for safety, but something felt wrong. The light flickered, revealing symbols carved into the walls, dark and ancient. A low hum began to vibrate through the ground beneath her feet. Her eyes widened as the symbols seemed to pulse with a living energy. The whispers returned, louder now, more insistent. They filled her mind with images she could not comprehend. Suddenly, a hand clamped over her shoulder. She spun around violently. No one was there. The lantern's light vanished, and darkness swallowed everything. The whispers crescendoed, twisting into a scream that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. Lara stumbled, her senses overwhelmed. A cold hand grazed her arm, though she saw nothing. Every instinct screamed escape, but the streets had changed. Paths that were familiar now led her in circles. A sudden shriek pierced the night, sharp and terrifying. Her breath caught in her throat. The air around her grew thick, almost solid. Shadows stretched toward her, dark fingers reaching. Lara ran, heart pounding, yet the streets themselves seemed alive, shifting and closing in. Her vision blurred. The whispers became voices, demanding, warning, accusing. She turned a corner and saw a door ajar, faint light spilling out. Desperation drove her forward. She stepped inside. The room was empty, yet the air smelled of something familiar and terrible at once. A mirror leaned against the wall. Lara approached it cautiously. Her reflection appeared, but her eyes were not her own. They were hollow, staring back with an ancient hunger. The whispering voices grew louder, surrounding her. Her reflection smiled, a cruel, knowing smile. The midnight had reached its peak. Lara realized she was no longer alone. The shadows were not outside the room. They were within her. The room grew colder still, and the air pulsed like a living heartbeat. The mirror began to crack slowly, tiny fissures spreading across its surface. Her reflection stepped forward, moving independently. It whispered her name. The voice carried a weight of centuries. Lara could feel her body being drawn toward it. Her own scream echoed back, distant and hollow. The mirror shattered completely, leaving a darkness deeper than night. And then silence. The streets outside remained quiet, but the shadows now lingered where she had been. The midnight tale had claimed its witness. Lara blinked, trying to adjust to the oppressive darkness. Her senses felt heightened, every sound amplified. A distant drip of water echoed like a drumbeat. The shadows that had once felt outside now seemed to curl and pulse around her. She could hear the floorboards creak beneath invisible footsteps. A cold gust blew through the room, carrying a faint, sweet fragrance. It was intoxicating yet unsettling, tugging at memories she could not place. The air shimmered as if alive, bending the light in strange, unnatural ways. Lara shivered, her skin prickled, sensing eyes upon her from every corner. The faint hum returned, vibrating in her chest rather than in her ears. It grew louder, resonating with something deep inside her. Then she noticed the walls themselves were moving. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the ancient symbols twisted and writhed. They seemed to form shapes, faces, scenes, fleeting glimpses of past horrors. Her breath came in shallow gasps. The whispers had become words now, fragmented but coherent. Follow, do not resist, the path is yours. Lara's instincts screamed to run, but her feet would not obey. Something invisible guided her forward. The door she had entered through was gone. Only a narrow corridor stretched ahead, dimly lit by an unearthly glow. She stepped forward, each movement feeling heavy, as if the air itself resisted her. The corridor ended abruptly at a staircase, spiraling downward. Lara hesitated, her heart hammering in her chest. A strange compulsion urged her to descend. Each step creaked under her weight, echoing into the abyss below. A sudden flash of movement caught her eye. In the shadows, she glimpsed figures, twisted and faceless, watching silently. The air grew thick with a metallic taste. Her stomach churned, but she could not turn back. At the bottom, a vast chamber opened before her. It was cavernous, yet oddly intimate, lit by countless floating orbs of light. Shadows danced along the walls, writhing in impossible patterns. The whispers converged into a single, commanding voice. Lara, welcome. The voice was everywhere and nowhere, echoing through her very bones. A figure emerged from the darkness, tall, cloaked, and featureless. It extended a hand toward her. Lara's heart nearly stopped. The air pulsed around her, vibrating with anticipation. I have waited for you, the voice said. The figure spoke her fears aloud, naming her secrets, her regrets, her desires. Every word pierced her like an arrow. Then the ground shifted beneath her feet. The chamber seemed endless now, walls stretching higher, ceilings dissolving into blackness. The floating orbs flickered, revealing glimpses of a world she did not recognize. Lara paused at the edge of the quiet street. The moonlight bathed her in silver, soft and steady. For the first time, she felt the weight of fear lift slightly from her shoulders. The whispers had faded, replaced by the gentle rustle of leaves in the night breeze. She breathed deeply, tasting the crisp, clean air, grounding herself in the moment. Though the shadows lingered at the edges of her vision, they no longer threatened. The streets, once twisted and alive, now lay peaceful, familiar. A sense of calm settled over her, fragile but real. She understood that the midnight tale was not a punishment, but a trial. A test of courage, of clarity, of strength. Her reflection in a nearby puddle smiled back at her, truly hers this time. No hollowness, no ancient hunger, just her own eyes, wide with wonder and relief. Lara took a step forward, then another, moving with purpose. Each movement felt lighter, freer, as if the night itself acknowledged her victory. The wind whispered softly through the trees, carrying a gentle promise. The darkness had receded, leaving her with memory, lesson, and strength. The streets ahead were unknown, but no longer terrifying. Lara had faced the shadows within and emerged unbroken. The midnight tale would remain a part of her, a story to remember and honor. She turned once to look at the path she had crossed. The faint shimmer of light from broken lanterns marked the journey behind her. And then she stepped forward, into the calm night, heart steady, eyes bright, ready for the future. The tale had ended, yet its echoes would live in her courage, guiding her through every shadow she might face. The midnight was still, serene, finally at peace.